A groundbreaking study followed nearly 2,000 seniors for over a year. The discovery was startling. Those who performed a specific 10-second visual ritual immediately upon waking experienced dramatically fewer falls, significantly sharper reading clarity, and reported feeling visually confident throughout the entire day. The difference wasn't medication, it wasn't surgery, it was timing and retraining. The researchers concluded that the brain's visual pathways are most receptive, most plastic, in the first 30 seconds of consciousness. This window slams shut as the day progresses. Miss it, and you are effectively trying to tune a radio after the station has gone to static. Catch it, and you can calibrate the entire instrument. This is the untold story of vision after 60. The eyes are merely messengers, but after a night of sleep, those messengers are dormant. They need to reconnect with headquarters, the brain. And if that reconnection is rushed or ignored, the entire system operates in a weakened state. Your balance suffers, your coordination lags, your confidence erodes. You might see, but you don't truly perceive. You move, but you don't truly trust. This is why so many feel that morning grogginess isn't just in the mind, it's in the body. Distances seem wrong, corners feel closer than they are. The floor seems to shift. You might stop trusting yourself to pour coffee without spilling, to navigate the hallway without a hand on the wall, to step off a curb with certainty. This isn't aging in the way we think. This is a neurological misalignment that compounds daily, but it can be stopped. And more than stopped, it can be reversed. Not with complex regimens, but with gentle, intentional movements that take less than a minute total. Movements that tell your brain and your eyes, wake up together, work as a team, now. Imagine waking up and before your feet even touch the floor, beginning a process that makes the world snap into focus. That makes your body feel steadier, your movement more fluid. Imagine reading the newspaper with less strain, judging the depth of a stare with more accuracy, moving through your home with a quiet assurance you thought was lost. This isn't a promise of perfect 20/20 vision, it is the promise of a fully online visual system, a system that gives your brain accurate, timely data so you can navigate your world with strength and clarity. The following is a detailed guide to this morning ritual. It is built on the convergence of modern neuroscience and timeless observation. It contains no miracle cures, only physiological truths. We will explore the 3 essential exercises, the why behind each one, and how, when performed in sequence in those first precious moments of wakefulness, they can fundamentally alter your day. Let's begin with the core problem. Overnight, your visual system goes into standby. The tiny muscles inside your eyes, the ciliary muscles that control the lens, allowing you to shift focus from near to far, have been locked in a single position for hours. They are stiff, like a leg that has fallen asleep. The neural pathways in the brain that process visual information, depth, and spatial awareness are quiet. When you open your eyes, the hardware powers on, but the software hasn't loaded. The connection is fuzzy. If you immediately demand performance from this system, by jumping out of bed, by staring at a bright phone screen full of tiny text, by rushing into a dimly lit bathroom, you force it to operate under stress. It's like demanding a sprinter to run full speed the moment they wake up. The system will obey, but clumsily, inefficiently, and with a high cost in energy and accuracy. That cost is paid throughout your day in fatigue, in hesitation, in that feeling of being off. The solution is not to avoid using your eyes, but to wake them up properly, to gently, systematically reboot the connection. The first exercise addresses the most fundamental skill, focus. Exercise 1, the near-far focus shift. This is the system boot up. It is deceptively simple, yet its impact is immediate because it addresses the primary stiffness. Here is what you do. The very moment you become conscious, while you are still lying in bed or sitting on the edge of it, do nothing else. Hold your thumb up at arm's length, directly in front of your face. Focus on it. Not a glance, but a deliberate, clear focus. See the lines of your fingerprint, the curve of the nail. Hold that focus for a full 5 seconds. You are telling your ciliary muscles to contract, to bend the lens for near vision. Then, smoothly shift your gaze to something on the opposite side of the room, a light switch, a door frame, a picture on the wall, anything at least 10 feet away. Lock your eyes onto that distant target, see its shape, its color, its details. Hold for another 5 seconds. Here, you are telling those same muscles to relax, to flatten the lens for distance. Then, shift back to your thumb and repeat. 3 cycles total, 30 seconds of your time. Why does this work? On a muscular level, you are gently stretching and contracting the focusing mechanism, easing out the nocturnal stiffness. You are increasing blood flow to the entire ocular motor system, but the more profound work is neurological. You are training your brain to process changes in depth rapidly and accurately. After 60, the speed of this accommodation reflex slows. One eye might adjust a fraction of a second slower than the other. The brain receives two slightly different images and must work overtime to fuse them into one coherent picture. This lag and this extra computational work are the hidden sources of morning blur and that feeling of eye strain when you try to read. By practicing this deliberate shift first thing, you are recalibrating the reflex. You are reminding both eyes to work as a synchronized team. You are feeding the brain a clear alternating signal: near, far, near, far. This primes the visual cortex, the part of the brain that processes sight, for a day of rapid depth perception. The effects reported are not subtle. People describe being able to read the thermostat across the room without squinting. The words on the breakfast cereal box are clear immediately, not after several blinks. That moment of blurriness when you look up from a book, it vanishes. This is because the system is warm, supple, and ready. The windshield, to use an analogy, is clean before you start driving. But seeing clearly while stationary is only the first step. Life is motion. The second greatest threat to confidence and safety is not static blur, but the inability to track movement smoothly. This is where the second exercise comes in. Exercise 2, the figure 8, tracing. If the first exercise boots up the system, this one installs the coordination software. Most falls, most stumbles, most incidents of clumsiness do not occur when someone is standing still. They happen during movement, turning to answer a call, reaching for a shelf while walking, shifting direction to avoid an obstacle. These actions require the eyes to track movement fluidly, sending a steady stream of spatial data to the brain. With age, the smooth pursuit system deteriorates. The eyes begin to move in tiny, jerky saccades instead of a seamless glide. The information sent to the brain becomes choppy, like a streaming video that keeps buffering. The brain, receiving this delayed and jumpy data, miscalculates. It misjudges the body's position in space. A step is taken too soon, a reach falls short, a turn becomes a stagger. This exercise directly counters that decline. Here is the method. Sit upright on the edge of your bed or in a sturdy chair. Extend your arm in front of you, thumb up. Now, slowly and deliberately, trace a large sideways figure 8, the infinity symbol, in the air with your thumb. Make it wide, comfortable. Your instruction is critical. Keep your head perfectly still. Let only your eyes follow the movement of your thumb. Follow the entire loop of the figure 8 for 30 seconds. Then, reverse the direction and trace it for another 30 seconds. It feels simple, almost meditative, but neurologically, it is a high-level workout. You are forcing your eye muscles to move through every plane of motion, horizontal, diagonal, vertical, and curved, all in one integrated sequence. Daily life rarely asks your eyes to perform such a complex, coordinated dance. Reading is mostly horizontal. Stairs are mostly vertical. But real-world navigation is a constant, unpredictable blend of all directions. The figure 8 is cross-training. It builds strength and fluidity in the 6 muscles that control each eye, ensuring they can glide without hesitation. More importantly, it trains the brain's predictive capacity. As your eyes smoothly follow the predictable path, the brain learns to anticipate where the thumb will go next. This anticipation is the secret to coordination. It's what allows you to catch a ball, not by reacting to where it is, but by predicting where it will be. When you retrain this predictive tracking in the morning, you carry that smooth anticipation into your day. Your eyes learn to glide ahead of your body's movement. You glance toward the step, and your brain already has the data to adjust your footfall. You turn your head, and your vision remains stable, not lagging behind. The exhaustion that comes from constant micro-corrections, the kind that leaves you feeling drained by afternoon, begins to fade. Your brain is no longer working overtime to compensate for jumpy visual input. It is receiving a clean, steady signal. You have booted up the system. You have activated coordination. But there is a final, crucial layer: integration. You can see clearly and track smoothly, but if you do not feel anchored, if you feel dizzy upon standing or uncertain in open spaces, the system is still incomplete. This brings us to the third exercise. Exercise 3, the gaze and grounding. This is the spatial confidence reset. Balance is not a singular sense, it is a triumvirate. The inner ear provides vestibular data about head movement and orientation. The proprioceptive system in your feet and joints tells you where your body is in space, and vision is the kingpin. It confirms and integrates all the other information. When you stand up after sleep, these 3 systems can be out of sync. The inner ear fluids are settled. The feet have been weightless all night. The eyes might be seeing a spinning room if they haven't properly grounded themselves. The brain gets conflicting reports. The eyes see a still room. The inner ear feels a shift. The feet sense new pressure. The result is hesitation, dizziness, a lack of trust in that first step. This exercise forcibly synchronizes them. Here is how. Find a seated or, if you are already steady, a standing position. Choose a single, completely stationary point at eye level to focus on. A doorknob, a speck on the wall, a corner of a window frame. Lock your gaze onto it. Do not let it waver. Now, while maintaining this absolute visual anchor, bring 100% of your awareness down to your feet. Feel the pressure of the floor against your soles. Feel the texture of your socks or the coolness of the floorboards. Gently, subtly, wiggle your toes. Shift your weight ever so slightly from the ball of your foot to the heel, from the left foot to the right. Do this for 20 to 30 seconds. You are performing a masterful bit of neural training. You are giving your brain an undeniable command. Here is your visual anchor. It is not moving. Now, here is your physical foundation. These are your feet on solid ground. Link them. You are teaching the vestibular system that the visual data is reliable. You are teaching the proprioceptive system that its signals are correct. This exercise rebuilds the trust between your senses. That initial hesitation before walking to the bathroom evaporates. The slight unsteadiness when you first stand vanishes. You feel planted, centered, and sure. This is not just physical stability, it is psychological confidence. When the body trusts its sense of space, the mind relaxes, anxiety about falling diminishes, the urge to shuffle is replaced by a willingness to step. Together, these three exercises form a complete morning visual ritual that takes less than 60 seconds. Performed in sequence, focus shift, figure 8, gaze, and grounding, they systematically reactivate, coordinate, and integrate your entire visual vestibular proprioceptive system. But the philosophy is as important as the practice. This ritual requires a shift in mindset. Those first 30 seconds upon waking must become sacred, intentional time. They are not for external stimulation, the ping of a notification, the drama of the news. They are for internal realignment. You are not just opening your eyes, you are opening the connection. The results, as observed and reported, extend far beyond sharper sight. They touch on the very quality of life. Individuals report moving through their days with a renewed sense of agency. They garden again because they can judge the distance to the flower bed. They read books in the morning light without strain. They join family walks because they trust their feet on uneven pavement. The afternoon fatigue lifts because their brain is no longer exhaustively compensating for poor visual data. The world feels solid, knowable, and navigable. This is the profound truth about vision later in life. It is a dynamic relationship, not a fixed asset. It is a conversation between your eyes and your brain that can be clarified with daily, gentle dialogue. The tools are simple, the science is clear, the window is small, but it opens for you every single morning. All you have to do is step through it.